Hello, St. Andrews, and welcome to this week's edition of Chancel Chat. I'd like to begin by telling you a story about a single woman in her early 80s who firmly believed that you're never too old for romance in your life. Well, this woman was attending a banquet, and sitting next to her at the banquet table was a gentleman who was very handsome, very attractive, and appeared to be about her age. So throughout the meal, she stared at this man until she finally got his attention. And then she said, "Oh, sir, I apologize for staring at you, but I just couldn't help myself. You see, you look exactly like my third husband." The man was kind of surprised, and he said, "Ma'am, how often have you been married?" And with a smile on her face and a twinkle in her eye, she patted him on his hand and said, "Just twice, just twice." So I think a reminder that romance is an important part of our lives, no matter how old we are. Just a couple of announcements to share with you some things that are happening here at St. Andrews. This weekend, we look forward to our celebration of the Holy Eucharist on Saturday evening at 5 p.m. and then Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. And this weekend, Deacon Joe Sweeney will be preaching the homily at all three services. And then on Monday, July 4th, Independence Day, the office will be closed all day, but we will be having our traditional Independence Day Eucharist at the Dobbins Chapel at St. Andrew's Cemetery on Pine Street. And we certainly encourage many of you to come and begin your Independence Day celebration with this simple but I think very meaningful celebration of the Holy Eucharist in a lovely spot. If you've never been to Dobbins Chapel, it's certainly worthwhile just to come and see that space. It's wonderful. And then on Tuesday, the day after Independence Day, our parish administrator, Chris Carroll, returns from a week's vacation. And we want to express our gratitude to those folks who volunteered and filled in during Chris's vacation. Everyone did a wonderful job, and operation went smoothly during that week, and so we're very grateful for those volunteers. The Vacation Music Academy, which began its 7th season this past Monday, continues next week. There are 45 children signed up for and registered for Vacation Music Academy this year. That's a slight increase over last year. And I have to tell you how wonderful it is to come into the church midweek and hear the voices of children having a great time at the church and also learning some important things about God's gift of music. So we are so delighted to be able to support and host the Vacation Music Academy. And we encourage you to continue to pray for Jeff and Victoria, the directors, for the staff, and for all the kids who are here enjoying themselves for these 3 weeks of Summer Vacation Music Academy. Speaking of vacation, let me just remind you of my vacation plans. Susan and I will be leaving Philadelphia on Sunday, July 10th, for a trip to Spain. We're doing the pilgrimage of the Way of St. James. We did this 2 years ago, but this year we're taking 4 other Episcopalians from the Diocese of New Jersey, including 2 priests, on the journey with us. So we fly into Madrid. We arrive there on Monday morning. We take a train from Madrid to Sarria, and in Sarria we begin our 6-day journey from Sarria to Santiago. Now, Santiago is an ancient city that hosts the great Cathedral of St. James, where the remains of the Apostle James are believed to be interred. We'll spend 1 full day in Santiago and then fly from Santiago to Paris, spend a couple days in Paris, and then return home on Friday, July 22nd. And God willing, I'll be back in church on Saturday evening and then Sunday of that week. So looking forward to getting away and to doing this very meaningful, spiritually enriching experience that we had 2 years ago. Looking forward to doing that again this year. On Sunday, July 10th, at the 10 o'clock service, it will be our privilege to host the gospel choir from Urban Promise in Camden. They are on a tour, and we invited them to come and sing some special music at the 10 o'clock service on July 10th. So you won't want to miss that. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful, uplifting experience for us to host these young people from Urban Promise. Our gospel reading for this seventh Sunday after the great feast of Pentecost is taken from the 10th chapter of the Gospel of Luke, and it's Jesus' instructions to the 70 disciples that he sent out in pairs to prepare for his ministry in towns and villages in Palestine. And I think it's very significant that Jesus sent the disciples out in pairs, that they might support each other, recognizing that we can't do this ministry all by ourselves. We need each other. And also he gives instructions, my favorite line in the gospel is, carry no purse, no bag, no sandals, and greet no one on the road. A kind of a reminder that disciples need to travel light. How we can become overburdened and overwhelmed if we try to take along too much equipment for the journey. So we'll be interested to see what Deacon Joe has to say about this wonderful gospel reading this weekend. So that's about all I have for today. Wish you and your family a blessed week, and we'll talk again next week.